You know, if we turned on the lights and we passed around a test and we asked how many people would be willing to make those commitments today, I think everybody in this room would pass the test. Everybody would get 100%, 100% from 100 people. But I'm here to tell you it doesn't matter what you say today, because you're not taking the test today. But as surely as you're sitting here listening to my words today, almost every single one of you will take this test at some time in the future. It might be this very weekend. You might have plans now to go to a party with your friend. It might be a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, or even 5 years from now. But at some time in your life, you're going to be given this test. I wish that we could line you up by the door, and as you walk past, we could put a paper in your hand, and you could look at the paper, and it would have your name, and we'll have a date, and it would have a time, and it would tell you when this test is going to come. We can't do that. I can't do that. If we could, I think you'd all pass. But the fact is, the majority of you, almost all of you, are going to be in one of the three positions I described at some time in the future. And my guess is almost all of you are going to be involved in one of those situations in the next few months or few years. I truly hope today that what you saw during the past 2 days and what you heard during the past 2 days will come to your mind at the time you take the test. I've talked to many of the people who were involved in putting this program together. One of the things that every single one of them say is if we've impacted one of your lives in such a way that you change your behavior and pass the test when the test comes, we feel that all of the time, all of the energy, and all of the money that's been put into this program is worthwhile. I have to confess to you, though, that I really hope it's a lot more than one of you that feels that way as you walk out the door. Before I leave, I wonder if you'd take a moment with me to thank all of the hundreds of people who have put this on, the volunteers, the police officers, the firefighters, all the other people who have come together to put this program on for you the last 2 days. If you feel like you're ready to make that commitment, and you feel that you can maintain the commitment when the test comes, please join me in giving them a round of applause.
And now we'd like to acknowledge the student who designed these amazing t-shirts, Nina Stevens-Bell. At this time, I'd like to introduce a parent, Marta McLaughlin, who was deeply affected by every 15 minutes.
I'm going to read a letter to you that I was asked to write after experiencing this amazing day that we had yesterday. It's to my son, Mark. Dear Mark, well, this truly was a day that I will never, ever forget. I remember agreeing to allow you to take part in this program, not knowing what it truly involved. You, the man of few words, broke it to us slowly. First, there was the obituary. Your dad and I agreed to write this obituary after overcoming our shock, to take this first and, as it turns out, easiest step. We were able to ponder the kind of man that you were becoming and what it would be like if we were ever to lose you. You were growing into such a godly man with a promising future and high aspirations. The thought that we were acting as if your life had been cut short was absolutely frightening and devastating. But nothing really prepared me for the actual day that we received the news that our son's life had been taken. Let me share with you some of my reactions. I became physically ill and felt as though my legs could not hold me. When I saw you in the emergency room, well, there are no words to describe the pain. There's a kind of grief that we cannot describe with words. It is so deep and so painful that it involves every part of your being, body, soul, and spirit. I know that after a time, this pain subsides to a numbness that involves a long period of going through the motions of life. But I don't know if I could ever truly heal if I lost you. Mark, you bring so much joy and richness to our life. I love your quiet strength mixed with that edgy, witty sense of humor. I have loved watching you develop in so many interests in the world around you, from swimming to cooking, Spanish to scuba diving, and not to mention all of your philosophical views that are emerging. You have made my life so interesting. I know that God is shaping you for a magnificent purpose and plan, and I can't wait to watch it unfold. This event has strengthened my appreciation and deepened my love for you, and it makes me realize how fragile life truly is. It is a precious gift from God. I love and treasure the gift of God that you are to me and to our whole family. I love you, Mark.
Hi, I'm Megan. I'm a freshman, and I participated in every 15 minutes. This is my letter to my parents. If I were to die, this is what I would want to say to them. Dear Mom and Dad, first of all, let me say how much I love you. Thank you for everything you have done for me. Let me talk about my mom first. You're the best one anyone can ask for. You give me what I want, and I take that for granted. 2 nights ago, we got in a huge fight, and we were yelling at each other. Then the next day, I was pronounced dead. If I could change one thing before I died, it would be that fight. I don't want the last thing for you to remember is how mad I was at you. I remember when I was little and I had a bad dream, I could always come to you. You were always there for me, and now I can't be there for you when you need it the most. I love you more than the air that I breathe. Now, Dad, I want to talk about you. I was your pumpkin head and always will be. If I needed help on my homework, I would go to you. You were the smart one. I remember getting into long conversations about the books we would read and the TV shows we would watch. Dad, I will never forget when you would say something that you thought was funny, but it truly wasn't. I also want to say thanks to my younger brother, Levi, who has always had my back. I loved, even though sometimes I wouldn't listen, to all his crazy dreams that he had the night before. I could tell you anything. Now I will not be able to do that anymore. I have learned that life is too short to be worrying about what will happen next. So just live in today. I love you. Your daughter, Megan.